Good morning, everyone. This is Zoology on September 9th, 2020. I'm Mr. Sheridan. Welcome to class today. Today is just going to be an extension of what we started to talk about yesterday. We're going to continue researching our livestock facility. So basically, in about a week, and we'll figure out a time based on how people are coming or are getting this project done, you are going to have a summative project due, which will be your first summative grade in zoology. And basically, I want you to design your own facility. So you pick the species of livestock that you're interested in, and I want you to design your facility. Money is not an object, so this is the one time that we don't have to actually worry about a budget and that sort of thing. So make it as cool as you like, but the thing I want you to focus on is safety. Is I want you focused on how you're going to move livestock from point A to point B, how you're going to deal with medications, how you're going to deal with animal behavior. Those are the things I want you to focus on when you're designing your facility. So I'm going to share my screen with you. We'll go through that assignment, and I'll show you some new links that I want you all to take advantage of when you are completing this assignment. So here's our stream. We've got a note about FFA meeting, and then just our regular Zoom link. In your classroom section, every single day, all of you again need to do your daily attendance and your daily check-in. Make sure you're doing that every single day. And then down here under week 4, this may be the only assignment that gets posted in here this week, because it is going to cover our entire project. So for those of you, I will go through the assignment itself in just a second. For those of you who have already seen it, have a pretty good idea of what you're going to do already, I've posted a few extra links here. If you haven't gone to these websites, you need to. Okay, these are really, really great websites about how livestock move, what things we should be concerned about when we are creating safety plans, what things you need to be aware of when you're dealing with livestock. And there's links to go to all sorts of different places in there. But the first thing we should do is run through our actual assignment here, so that for the folks that weren't here yesterday and didn't watch that instructional video, have that information. So what I'm asking you to do is to choose between these 7 species. The first thing that you need to do in step number 1 down here is you need to pick 3 of them, and you need to answer all of these questions about those 3 species. So that's what you should have been working on yesterday and what you should continue to work on today. I want you to have step number 1 finished by today, and tomorrow we're going to start putting together our actual facility and our safety plan. So if anybody has any questions about that, please let me know. But then step number 2, as we move into tomorrow, we're going to start to talk about some specifics that you will need to define as you are creating your facility. So for today, what I want us to be doing is researching some of these websites that will allow us to learn about animal safety. The first one that I put in here is the National Ag Safety Database. And when you click on here and you head up to topics, it's going to bring up a whole list of things that are going to discuss about specific areas of agriculture. So for those of you who happen to be, I've got a couple of you that are in both natural resources and zoology. If you're doing your natural resources project, there's a whole lot of things in here that you could be using for natural resources, but for our purposes here in zoology, we're probably just going to focus on animals. So when you click on animals, then you can talk about, they have specific sections based on species that you can go through and read here. So it's just in general, it's also going to bring up another big old list of, and we need to be reading through a number of these. Okay, we need to be talking about how to be safe around manure. We need to be talking about how to be safe when we're moving animals. There's a number of different, I want you to look through a few of these farm accident reports that are in here that will actually give you some data to back up why this is so important. So spend some time in here. Feel free to look around and find something that interests you. This is another website that will give you, that is basically, it's based on a slide. I don't know why they did it. They laid it out this way. It's very strange, but there's a lot of really good information in here about how to handle animals and where they need to be. It highlights, and they actually use some of Dr. Grandin's research in here to talk about how about things you need to keep in mind when you're talking about a facility, a livestock facility. This is another thing we've talked about. You need to be talking about PPE, which stands for personal protective equipment, that all of your employees should be wearing at whenever they're at this farm or facility, and then we need to be talking about diseases as well. So there's a ton that goes into this stuff. And you need to be taking notes while you're going through this and starting to come up with an outline for what your final project is going to look like, because we're going to spend some class time doing it, but I want you all to be a part of that, and you can make it with your own. But we're making a safety plan for how to design this livestock facility. So, and then we've got Dr. Temple Grandin's website, which is maybe the worst one I've ever seen. The layout of this website is awful, but the information in here is gold. So particularly for those of you who don't know who Dr. Temple Grandin is, Noel actually did highlighted her as his scientist of choice in that assignment the first week of school. She is the leading person on how to design livestock facilities to reduce stress in animals. There was not a lot being done back in the 70s and 80s, and there was just a whole bunch of people that would try to hoot and holler and then get frustrated when livestock didn't do exactly what we wanted them to do. So Dr. Grandin actually did the research and figured out how animals actually naturally move, where their flight zones are, what makes the most sense for them to move in a way that is comfortable for them, so we can reduce the amount of stress involved with when we're moving livestock. So super duper important that you browse through her website. Again, I know it's hard to navigate, but you need that information that's in there are things that you need to know when you're designing a new facility. So keep those things in mind as you're working through. I want you to spend some time today researching what type of facility you think that you are going to be planning. We will have some group discussion tomorrow based on those things, based on the questions that you've answered in step number 1 of this project, and we can start to move into finalizing our plans and what I'm going to require to be a part of those final projects. So with that, have a great day. Continue to continue working on this project, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.